Hey folks, welcome back to the channel. Got some craft ideas for you today. They're fairly easy to make, and once you figure out the easiest way to do it yourself, you can make a bunch of these, and they're pretty fun to make. First, I'm going to give you my opinion about something. Zelda Ocarina of Time was probably the most fun Zelda of my time. 464 was the best, I think. You guys can like whichever one. I'll play any Zelda, but that's the one that I spent the most time with. So, being a Zelda dude, I started making rupees, and this is actually the second bag of rupees that I made. I had made rupees, hearts, I had potion pots that I made, and I ended up giving the first bag. I had even a giant's wallet made. I had a leather giant's wallet, and a guy, a buddy of mine from Georgia Bushcraft, he had asked about getting a couple of them because his son's name was Lincoln and they called him Link, and he didn't know about these things, and I just gave him the whole wallet. It went to a good home, and since then I've made probably this many more and given them away. And I gave some away that had hearts and potions in them, and the potions were about that tall, I guess, but I just carve them all out of whatever material that I have. They're all different sizes too. Like some are bigger, they're thicker, and I just painted them. And what I do, so like if I paint one, I would take and just scratch the corners just to give it a little depth, make it look like it may have had a shine to it or something. But pretty fun. It does take a fair amount of material removal to get these right, but the biggest part of it is just getting your pieces thin, and there is no correct thickness to making them. You know, there's not really any rules in this stuff. You just get a piece about the thickness that you want to work. Of course, the thinner, the easier it is to work, but also the thinner, the higher the chances are when you're putting these angles on things that you can go too far. And then once you mess one of these angles up, you can either shorten the piece and try it again, or once it's so short and you get it too wump-sided, you're toast. It's just going to be wump-sided. And some of these are wump-sided. I mean, not all of these things are perfect. Like I'm carving these with a pocket knife. See, here's one that I've messed up. I had messed it up at some point, and to try to straighten it back up, all I could do was make it shorter. And now, like, if I wanted to try to get the shape back to it, I'd have to thin it on both sides and then cut these angles back and then cut the top again. But it's fairly easy to make. You need to start with, like I said, a piece of material, roughly the thickness that you want, and then just start putting angles on it. Put your side angles on it first. So like if you're doing like this piece, this will work for whatever. Sorry. It's not exactly. So if this is what you're going to do, the first angles you want to put on here is on both sides. So it looks like this from the end. The sun's going to be right in this video. But after you have the shape, then you just start putting your angles on the end. And then you would flip it around and then just cut this way. Dip it deep enough you could break it off. But it's not hard. Something fun to do. Just especially when it comes to just knife skills. Practicing your agility with your blades and stuff. They make fun gifts too. But anyway, I just wanted to share. There's been a bunch of folks that have these that I've given them to over time, but there's no sense in me having all the fun, so check them out. You can check out our older stuff at Bushcraft Kelso on Instagram, bushcraftkelso.com for gizmos and gadgets. Ocarina of Time was the best.